like, I'm really gonna be at home again. Sitting around and saying like, oh yeah, but it's worse for other people, like that never makes anyone feel better. Whose parents are letting me go do the real world Nassau Street. Life begins after Princeton University. So another thing that really influenced my gap year decision. What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm MissChis, and on this channel we do lifestyle content, faith-based content, basically any sort of content I want. Isn't that lovely? Okay, if you're returning, welcome back fam. So glad you're here, so glad you're tuning into another video. Alright, so in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about something I said I wasn't going to talk about, but the situation kind of necessitated it. For a while, I was saying like, no, I want my YouTube to be my space. I don't want to be another one of these like college YouTubers. But the reality is college is a very big part of my life right now. So I'm going to be a senior at Princeton University this fall. And I decided in this video that we need to chat. So we need to talk about the feelings / some of the things I've been seeing in response to school being canceled, Zoom University, the fall 2020 decision regarding like on campus, off campus, virtual or in person. Like we need to just discuss all of it because I really went from the Ivy League, the #1 school in America, if I toot my own horn, but really went from the Ivy League to Zoom University, and that's crazy. And I think it's really crazy for a lot of us, and so I've been seeing a bunch of tweets about it and talking to all my friends about it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about that transition there, Ivy League to Zoom University. I'll also be touching on my general reaction to the news when it first came out because I feel like I went through the 7 different stages of grief. I also want to touch on my gap year decision and some advice for people considering a gap year and just advice about how we're going to make it through this weird, difficult season of life. I know this is shaking up a lot of people's visions and plans for themselves in the next couple years. As someone who had that sort of, okay, what do I do now moment, I really wanted to chat about it here on this channel because I've kind of found some ways to deal with it, and I think you guys might find these ways helpful as well. I'm gonna put timestamps in the description, so if there's like a special topic that you want to go straight to, that's gonna be below. So first, let's get into the reaction, you guys. So the decision came out like the first week of July. First thing that happened is that these people delayed it. So everyone was pressed. And I was also kind of like, I don't know, going into it, I had already prepared myself for the worst. Like I had heard little murmurings. I had heard little murmurings about, you know, not having students on campus. And I think in the UK, Cambridge decided that they're going to be like fully virtual all school year. And I was like, wow, Princeton really loves to copy very clout chaser behavior, but it's standard. When Cambridge dropped that decision, I'm like, yo, it's looking real slow because even though we're in America and college culture is a really big part of our society, I feel like, at the end of the day, Princeton isn't going to do anything to like endanger their students / they don't need the tuition money. They really will be set for the next couple of years. They really don't need us to come to school. They'd rather just have us at home than deal with the potential PR disaster of being like 200 Princeton students get coronavirus, school in shambles, hospital overwhelmed. Like they don't want to do that. So I was already kind of anticipating the worst case scenario. Let's get into emotions when this decision dropped. I think you guys already know the emotions. Like it was like, damn, like I'm really gonna be at home again. I've actually been really blessed in having like a pretty smooth like COVID experience at home. At the end of the day though, I'm 21 and I just came back from studying abroad where I was basically just like an adult living in a cool city. And I like my freedom. Nothing against my family, but I want to do my own thing. I feel like that's where I'm at in life right now. Yeah, so when this decision came down, I was honestly like, okay, this sucks, but honestly, it's probably one of the better decisions that I've heard. My brother goes to USC. He actually has a channel, which I'll link in the description, but he's a film major at USC. And at first, like when California was doing super well in their COVID response, it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna be in person. Like everything's gonna be fine. It's lit, y'all. Plan to come back. And then they promptly had to close California down again and then say, actually, stay home. Actually, that's so much worse than just getting one decision. I'm the sort of person that hates to like have something and then get it snatched away from them, which is kind of what's happened with COVID in my senior year / my undergraduate education. Princeton's plan isn't bad. Like I don't know, I'm always one of those people that's kind of like pushing the university to do more because I'm like, you guys are rich, you can do anything. And while that may be true, like at the end of the day, there are public health considerations that need to be considered. And so I was pretty understanding about the decision, but that didn't mean I wasn't sad. Not only am I gonna be at home for longer, I'm graduating, or I was set to graduate 2021. My senior year is like down the drain. You really gotta take senior year for 2021 and kind of charge it to the game. But with that social contract, things are looking real slow at Princeton University. It's looking real slow. And yeah, I was in my bag about that. I was in my bag about that for sure. Even though I haven't had like the time of my life at college, like I still did enjoy my time. And it's kind of that weird, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do next sort of deal that I know a lot of seniors go through their senior spring, but I'm going through it, and a lot of my like peers are going through that right now, even before our senior year starts. I don't know what setting this was on before, so if the footage looks different, just bear with me. Anyway, so I get this decision, and we're really going through the 7 different stages of grief. First of all, it's like, oh my God, like I'm just shook. And then there's just the sadness, the depression, kind of denial for a second. For a minute, I was like, okay, what if COVID just like gets better and they let everyone on campus? The other form of denial that I did, and I think a lot of people are doing, whether or not they're like on campus or whether or not they're part of the group that is off campus for fall, but I've seen a lot of people like trying to behave as if the fall semester is still going to be like lit or like a movie. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. I don't want to be a pessimistic person. Excuse me. But to think that you can somehow recapture all the usual energy of like normal college life during a pandemic is actually disrespectful, along with being stupid. It's not happening. And so my own personal form of denial, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, what if I got a house like with all my friends and like everyone else got houses around and we could really make it lit or whatever. But in doing that, I did not consider that. I love my friends, but I definitely would not live with a lot of them. 2, whose parents are letting me go do the real world Nassau Street? Like, And the other part was like, okay, yes, we all get a house together, but you are graduating. Like, if you're saving money for something, shouldn't you be saving money for like, you know, your post-grad life? Like, where your first apartment or something? I'm not saying some of the solutions or some of the things I mentioned earlier aren't gonna work for other people, but I know that they aren't going to happen for me. After that initial reaction, the next thing I started to consider was taking a gap year. And you guys should know, I know the video kind of had like the clickbaity title, but I will not be taking a gap year for the 2020-2021 semester. Mostly because I've been saying it since I was like a senior in high school, but I will be getting this degree by force. I couldn't really figure out anything else I would really want to do during this time off that I can't be doing as a student, really. I know a ton of people who are taking really cool gap years, so this is not knocking the gap year idea, but make sure your intentions with it are to still grow, to move forward, because if you're just trying to like wait out COVID, you can't do that because we don't know how COVID is going to move, to be honest. The way Americans aren't going to take the vaccine when it comes out. Like, I made that gap year decision like 2 minutes. I was like, wow, maybe I should leave. And just like, wait, to go where? Like, to go where, sis? The final thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is just drop some advice and talk a little bit about my journey to kind of making peace with what this next year is going to look like. And I guess this is about me making peace with COVID in general. This bit of advice is kind of targeted for the people whose biggest COVID-related struggle has been this whole news about school. This kind of goes without saying, and I could have said it earlier in the video, but The way COVID has impacted some families, some individuals, like, you have no idea. I also didn't really touch on the fact that, like, for people that are housing insecure slash like live in housing that or slash live in places that are not conducive to their well-being or to studying, like, I really feel for those individuals. That's like a whole separate ordeal to be going through. But anyways, this video is for people like me who were kind of aware of that and are aware of that, but sitting around and saying like, oh yeah, but it's worse for other people, like, that never makes anyone feel better. So that's kind of why I made this video. But we just have to kind of get out of our little privilege bubble at times. For anyone who's just having a tough time with this, here's what I would say. I feel that in the United States especially, there's a very harmful rhetoric that your life begins and ends with college. Like, the whole glory days, best days of your life. I heard that, and at first I was like, especially when I was a younger undergraduate, when I was a freshman, so I was like, cool, if these are the best years of my life, like, I'm going hard. I'm joining every club, I'm joining an eating club, I'm going out every time. Like, I was really ready to do college, and I think that was because I kept getting the message that you'll never be able to, like, enjoy like you're enjoying now, and we all know that I love enjoyment, so I had to lean into that. But last summer, I really got to be exposed to what life could be like outside university, and you guys, God forbid the best years of your life being your college years. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. At the end of the day, college is 18 to 22. The way modern medicine is working, if one is blessed enough, you're gonna live 80 more years. It is so critical, it is so important that you have vision for your life past undergrad, that you continue to learn, continue to meet new people, continue to explore. All those things one gets to do while they're in college, you can actually keep that same energy for so much longer. At Princeton, especially at my school, they really try and keep you coming back. We have reunions every year for a reason, and that's so you get that like little nostalgic, like, oh, I had the best time here, and then you give them money. See, that's broke. That's broke. Woke would be having whatever college experience you have, good, bad, mediocre, and then knowing that there's light and there's life on the other side of university. That's woke. I know Princeton has really been an amazing opportunity for so many of us, myself included, but at the end of the day, like, life cannot begin and end with that institution. You have so much more to do in this world. The world has so much more to show you that you will not be getting on that campus. And I know it's really hard to think about that when you're missing campus, when you're missing that person that you were becoming while on campus. But remember that you can still become and grow once you leave there. In fact, you will become and grow so much more once you leave there and find spaces that are especially made for you, that support you, that love you. Like, you guys, the best is yet to come. That's like the conclusion of this video. The best is truly yet to come. I have faith in that. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I want you guys to believe it as well. Okay, so we have now reached the end of this video, finally. I know I got kind of ranty in there. I can think of like 65 different additional videos that I could do with various subtopics from this video. I will definitely be doing a part 2 to this video, talking about some of the things waiting on the other side of Princeton that I've already experienced, like as a Princeton student, I guess. I'll also be talking a little bit about how to make peace with some of the decisions that have been happening recently. And I'll also be talking about some of the ways you can make Zoom University work for you. I hope this video / this message kind of resonates with some people. I hope it inspires some folks and allows you to feel a little bit more solid and a little bit more hopeful about the future, despite some of the bad news that we've gotten so far. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me some questions and some reactions to this video in the comments down below. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, tell me if I'm just like capping. Like, postgraduate life is slow, it's boring, stay in college, enjoy college. Tell me if I'm oversimplifying this. Am I capping because I already did my whole like eating clubs, gallivants, lawn parties? Am I capping because I'm a senior and I'm jaded? Could be. Let me know down in the comments, and I'm sending you love, light, strength, and I'm sending you all the good things, all my love, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.